Okay, let's work on this rear mount. This is the pain in the butt. Okay, first you want to come in here. You have a tray that sits right over here. This metal pan. It has 3 bolts on it. 3 bolts. You want to remove those. Right here, 1, 2, 3. And then you have 2 little tabs on the back. These little tabs that are up in there in the back on those little hook parts. On these parts, 2 of those, and the thing just falls right off. So take that off, get it out of your way. You can get both hands in here now. You can get a hand on this side and come on in here. First you want to unplug your wire harness, and the way you do that is you stick an arm through the passenger side and then reach in there. Let me get my light on. There we go. And then reach in there. If your arm is long enough, you should be able to reach it. Let me show you. If your arm is long enough, you should be able to reach it, and unplug it. It's not really that hard. And after you unplug that, move that wire out of the way. Then you want to take out your back bolts. Let me see. Here we go. Your back 2 bolts. You have one here, and then your other one here. The way you get to these, the easiest way I found, take a 14mm ratchet. I already took one off. Trying to make this video shorter for you guys. 14mm ratchet, and you got to use 2 hands to break it loose. Once you break it loose, it should come right off. Then you could just go in there and twist it by hand. I took them both out pretty easy. And the other one over here, take that one out. It goes right in there. Take the other one out too. Then, I don't think there's anything else you can do from back here. Yeah, there's your plug-in wire harness right there. And that's about it you can do from back here, because everything else is in the front. But I'm going to show you anyway, because I got to do it in a minute. Your front one, you see I have my socket set up on it already. There's the front one. I have the socket already set up on it. So take that front one off, and you have to reach those from the top of the car. You can't do it from down here unless you're a magician. Now back on top, you have your what I'm using is a 10-inch extension, and then I have another one which is a 6-inch. Connect those 2 together, and then I'll let you get those 2 bottom bolts. This is the front one. Let me show you the other one. It's like this. It's on the car like this. You have your 2 bolts, 1 bolt here, 1 bolt there, and your other one there, 2 other ones there. They're a little closer together. See how it looks? The front ones are wide apart. Those back ones are closer together. But that's how that is. After you take your bracket off the top first, then you take your bracket off. You go for your bracket next. Then you come back in here. Once you have all those loose, you have a bracket that goes over the top, which is this. Same as on the front. And that's 2 17mm nuts. Take those 2 out. And there's a little cover in the way. So you probably want to remove this bracket first. I would say do that first. because there's a little cover that's in the way of the back bolt that goes to the frame, goes to the cradle. So take these two out first and remove this metal bracket, and then take this falls off. This is held on with this. So take all that junk off first, then start on your back bolts I showed you first, your back two nuts, then do your front two nuts, loosen those up. I think I've already done 3 of them. I only have 1 left. So once you have all those off, we'll go to the next step. Okay, and once you have all your bolts loose and everything loose, then you want to jack up the engine and move the mount away from the brackets. Move the mount away from the bracket. Get it out of there, out of the way. Get it out like over here. Oh, this thing out of the way. Get it like over here somewhere, away from this bracket that holds it. And then after you do that, you want to lower the engine back down all the way as far as it goes, so you can have room to pull it out. Now, this might be a little bit easier to get the mount out of the bottom if you have a non-all-wheel drive version, but this is an all-wheel drive version, so that's why I'm going through the top, because of course the all-wheel drive system is in the way down there on the bottom. So I don't know if the non-all-wheel drive would be easier to pull the mount out to the bottom or not, but this one, there's no way you're getting the mount to the bottom. And the only way I found was to do this. I have all the mounts out. A bit of advice, it's best to do this, the back one, when you have all of them out. If you're gonna change them, I would change them all anyway, though, honestly. Because I have the transmission one removed. I did all this in the previous video, so you can check that video out if you need info on those mounts. The front 3. Transmission mount's already out. The front mount is already out. There's nothing in there. And then this one is still in the car. Where is it? Still in the car, but it's unhooked. If you can see it, the bolts are unhooked, so it's just sitting there. The engine's just loose, basically. The engine is just loose. It's sitting on the jack and the piece of wood. So once you have it on the jack, you can move it around and do what you have to do. Once I got it loose, the mount moved to the side and, lowered the engine back down. Then I turned the mount sideways and tried to pull it straight out, which it'll fit, but what do you call it? The coil packs were in the way. The 2 coil packs were in the way. One there and one there. So I removed those. Then it came right out. So remove your 2 coil packs. Remove your 2 coil packs and it'll come right out. And once you get it up here, then you have these things in the way. But they just pop right off. They just pop right off. These little things here, they push down on them and they pop right off. There's 2 of them. Get those to the side, out of the way. And once your engine's lowered all the way down as far as it'll go, turn your mount sideways with the top of the mount facing the passenger side, and then wiggle it out. It should come right out. You got to move these heater hoses out of the way and all that. But just take your time and it'll wiggle right out. Then you'll be done with that. Then do everything, the opposite way you took it off. Rear mount first. Then you could do the front one after that. Then the transmission mount, and then the passenger mount. I'm not doing the passenger side mount because I'm taking that off, doing the timing belt too at the same time. So I'm just gonna leave that one off for now. But of course, you got to put it all back together when you do your own car. So that's it for that. If you have any questions or anything, I missed anything, just comment down below, and I'll help you the best way as I can. But that's pretty easy. It's pretty much that's how it goes. But like I said, that back mount, you're not getting it out unless you lower down the engine. It's not coming out. There's no way. Like I said, it might be different on the 2-wheel drive model, but this all-wheel drive, that all-wheel drive case is in the way down the bottom, so you're not getting it out that way. You have to pull it to the top. And the only way you could do that is like this, lowering down the engine. Now, I will say, if you don't have the equipment to get this engine back up into place to put it back on the mounts, I don't recommend doing this job. I have 2 3-ton jacks and I have an engine hoist if I need it to get it back up in place. But if you don't have all that, this job is probably not for you. You know, just go ahead and suck it up and pay a professional to go ahead and do it for you. Because if you can't get this heavy engine back into place, you're not getting these mounts back in the right spot, and you're going to have a hard time. So make sure you have the proper equipment before you even tackle this job. That's just a bit of advice. So till next time, peace.